Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Now, come on, now crank this motherfucker up.
It's about to get super spicy.
We say the things that they scared to talk about. We practice what we preach. Yeah, we walk it out.
The streets need a voice. We ain't pandering for the crowd. Catch us on Wednesday and Sundays. It's going down.
I ain't going for that he say, she say. That man versus woman. You can miss me with that weekday replay.
We gon' keep it 1K each and every day. Make sure you subscribe, give a like, and press play.
We gon' always keep it raw with you. You got a difference of opinion, please come let us talk with you.
Pull up a seat, this a space where you can keep it real. Real deal, you are in tune with Cold Fizz.
It's your boy Asshole Poppy.
Hey, you already know it's your boy Feel Good.
Back with another episode of the Cold Field Show.
And you already know it's about to get spicy, you heard?
You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's get right into it. We got some special guests in the building tonight. You know what I'm saying? We're going to throw the camera to them real quick so they can introduce y'all themselves, and then we're going to get right back to it. You know what I'm saying? Let's start off with the lady in the room. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Nikki.
That's it? You just Nikki? All right.
Nikki.
Say what's up to Nikki, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Give a round of applause. And let's go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, Courtney Allen. I go by Courtney Allen out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And greetings to you from Knowledge World Media. That's my YouTube channel. So.
All right, let's
Okay.
go.
Go ahead and drop that again. Let them know where they can find you at.
All right, so Knowledge World Media on YouTube. And over there we talk about all kinds of different topics and what have you, from geopolitical events, some controversial topics, relationships and things like that. So come on over. Knowledge World Media YouTube channel.
All right, man.
Let's go.
No doubt. You know what I'm saying? So look, we're going to get right into it tonight. Tonight's topic is child support. What they really want from a nigga. Like, god damn. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a serious conversation about this tonight, though. And we're going to start the show off with a video to jump right into it. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and check this video out, and let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Father be put on child support when he's already helping? The answer is easy. Yes, he can. Child support is not for a punishment or to be put on because someone is not doing something. Child support is actually to establish what the rights financially are in your matter. It could mean that what you're currently doing could increase. It also could mean that it could decrease, right? So if you're paying for all of these things, keep doing it. Now you'll just be doing it pursuant to a court order. And I know you'll be a stand-up father and continue that, right? And if you have any further questions, father be put on child support when he's already helping? The answer is easy. Yes, he can. Child support is not for a punishment or to be put on because someone is not doing something. Child support is actually to establish what the rights financially are in your matter. It could mean that what you're currently doing could increase. It also could mean that it could decrease, right? So if you're paying for all of these things, keep doing it. Now you'll just be doing it pursuant to a court order. And I know you'll be a stand-up father and continue that, right? And if you have any further questions, father be put on child support when he's already helping? The answer is easy. Yes, he can. Child support is not for a punishment or to be put on because someone is not doing something.
Man, fuck out my face. She talking about pursuing to a court order. Look, first of all, I'm just gonna say this, you know what I'm saying? Respectfully, I'm not on child support. I've never had to deal with that demon. So anything that I say tonight will be completely satire and opinion based, okay? So just roll with me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be cracking jokes and asking questions, and you know we're gonna let the rest of the audience have a serious conversation. What do you feel about that video, man? She said it is not meant to be a punishment. It is just something to enforce the financial restraints of a relationship between a mother and father, basically. Like, how do you feel? Like,
Man.
do you feel like that's necessary?
I feel like it's pure fuckery, you know? Like, if we gotta go through all these channels, like, come on, man. If the man doing everything he's supposed to do, and then you still want more, like, damn, should I just walk out the door? Like,
I mean, honestly, though,
damn.
that's the case. A lot of men have opted out simply because they felt like the mother was being greedy, overreaching. You know what I'm saying? They said, fuck it, I'd rather not deal with you or the child if this is what my life is going to consist of. We have a woman in the room. How do you feel about that specific area of the conversation? Do you feel like child support is necessary from a legal standpoint?
Yes. Sometimes not every man should be on child support. If the father is active in the child life and is within 30 minutes from the child's location, where if the mother can't take the kid to school or to the doctor, the father is there, and you're taking the weekends, you know, you're doing equal parent duties, then no, I don't feel like child support is necessary. But if you're off living your life, doing what you want to do, living in another state, if you tussling with her and you're in another relationship and you tussling with her about what you feel like you should pay and this and that, because a man, you guys measure yourself off your money. You're not going to feel like that you should do certain things. And when you're having a kid with someone, you really need to know that person and how they grew up. If you're dealing with a man that no one took care of him when he was growing up, you wouldn't feel the need to take care of your kid because nobody took care of you. Subconsciously, you think that way, and you feel like, oh, I made it. I'm okay. I'm all right. You understand?
I've definitely heard that. I think I've even probably said it a time or two.
But
So I can understand that.
I'm sorry.
Oh, continue.
I feel like child support protects the man. You understand? Because
Protects
Wait,
the man.
how
Hold on.
let me tell you.
What?
Okay.
We can be in a relationship and you want to go or she wants to go be with someone else. Things get salty. She want to take you to child support. She can ask for a arrears.
Yeah, okay.
That child can be 10 years old. The state of Wisconsin will go all the way back and you'll end up owing thousands of dollars. So child support is actually a protection. If you feel like you're paying too much child support, you don't want to pay that child support, you have every right to go in there and get 50-50 custody. But a lot of men don't want to deal with the part of parenting.
Sharing placement.
Yeah, shared placement.
Okay,
You gotta be sharing
okay.
placement. You gotta-
Do you feel like, how do you feel like it is somebody else's place to determine financially how much a man is capable of giving to that child or to the mother of that child? Because just because I give you my check stubs or whatever, my bank account, just because I give you a taste of how much I spend monthly, doesn't mean it's going to be the same every month with my checks or with my monthly expenses. How do you just decide, oh, you're supposed to give me $1,000 a month? Or you're supposed to give me $300 a week? Whatever the order may be. Like, how does that somebody else's place to decide that for somebody?
Well, respectfully, how you're asking me this is coming from an emotional place. Child support is not emotional. Child support is a business transaction. Child support is based off a percentage. If you have 2 or more kids, it's like 23-25% if you're a high earner. How can I say this?
But who made those numbers? That's what I'm saying. Who came up with those numbers?
It's law. It's law.
But does that make it right? Just because it's law?
Does it make it right that you having kids out of wedlock, or you abandon your family, or listen?
I'm hearing you.
This is business. The 17% of my child's father is a high earner, so I'm 17% for one kid. The sick, the sleepless nights, you giving me 17% of your money for our kid. how much of a percent am I giving? You couldn't put a percentage on my time when the child is sick. You come and go when you please. I stay there and deal with it. Me personally, I don't even have men around my kids. You understand? So I sacrifice a lot for the sake of my children. So your money means nothing. It's a drop in the hat. It's literally a drop in the hat.
Okay. We're going to get back to that. I want to talk to the brother in the room. How do you feel about the conversation that's happening around you right now?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, sir?
Being very familiar with the topic, in that I have been on child support myself. I fought with 4 people that have been subjected to child support. I've interviewed with attorneys, federal and state courts. So I have somewhat of some experience on both sides of the aisle. I can certainly, I can't say empathize, but I can sympathize with the young lady. Excuse me, I forgot the name. Nikki. I can certainly sympathize with her because I have a couple baby mamas, they call them. And so I know, some of what they go through. I've been very close in those relations with my children and my children's mothers. And so I don't want to take away from the responsibilities and the sleepless nights, as Nikki mentioned. That's not my intent here. I just want to put that out there. With that being said, I can also speak confidently as a father that is involved. I think we should make the distinction between the fathers that are not involved and the fathers that are involved. And then we should make the distinction between the fathers that basically are being pushed out of the situation because perhaps the woman does not want him there and wants another man, and he's trying to be in the situation, but they keep he's being pushed out. So there's different dynamics to this to be discussed. So how I feel about it, I feel that it is definitely time to have these discussions. I'm definitely very appreciative for being part of this think tank or talk tank or whatever you want to categorize it as here at Cold Fields. And I think, it's very important. It's very necessary. Relationships are more divided than ever before. The nation is more divided than ever before. Until we deal with these issues and unapologetically and confront them without shame, and ain't nobody perfect here. We were just talking before we got on camera here about narcissism and things like that. So I think we put all those things aside, put our personal feelings aside, as Nikki said, and make it about business. It's about the business of the family. It's about the business of your child, and doing what's in the best interest of the child. So how I feel about it, again, is I'm very passionate about it, as I'm sure Nikki is, and I'm sure you brothers are as well. So again, I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. I appreciate you being here.
For sure. We definitely appreciate both of y'all for being there. I mean, I definitely agree on. Well, it's crazy to say, but I agree with both of y'all. I mean, if the father is there, he's around. I don't think he should be going through that. But at the same time, it's like you could be living in the same exact city, the same exact town, the same exact whatever, and motherfuckers that treat you like you living in Africa.
That go back to what he said. We gotta differentiate between the men that aren't around because they don't care, the men that aren't around because they having difficulties, the men that aren't around because the women don't want them to be. It's different categories. Let me jump into a couple of these comments. China Marie, what's going on? Appreciate you for being here tonight. Everybody hit the share button for me real fast, please.
And that like button. Let's go.
She said, when dealing with children, there is no excuse to whether or not if you spend the same amount or have the same wages a month. That should have been done and calculated before getting busy. It's basics. In the perfect world. And I say in the perfect world because we all know that people tend to not have these types of conversations. They should. But we're not all perfect adults. So, you know what I'm saying? But you're 100% right. Donovan said, child support is a way for the state to fleece fathers. If that wasn't the case, 100% would go to the woman, not no punk ass 70%. I mean, you know, when you're right, you're right. Speaking of that, I want to ask a question to the brother in the room and to you also.
Go on, let's talk about it.
How has being on child support affected the quality of your life personally? And when I say quality of life, I mean, again, this goes back to the question I just asked Nikki. Somebody else is determining how much money you should come out of. How does that affect your life as a man trying to still maintain your own finances and responsibilities and things of that nature?
I feel like for me, I'm gonna let Courtney tap in a moment, but for me, man, like I don't have no problem with the whole idea of paying it, right? But the thing for me is, it's like, even with me paying, I still receive all that backlash. Like, she still want to play with the time I spend with my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, she still want to, you know, play with, you know, how we go about certain things. And at the end of the day, like, it don't matter how much money is being given. It's like, what the fuck do you really want from me? I think you really want me just to check out all the way. You don't want me, like.
So for you saying more so it affected your quality of life on a mental aspect as well as the relationship that you have with the child specifically.
Facts. Because I mean, like, it's fucked up, bro. I was going through a situation where my son's mother was trying to basically pawn my son off on her guy, her boyfriend or whatever, trying to make it seem like that's his dad. You know what I'm saying? And he don't even fuck with my son like that. Like, it's like the whole relationship with them is like, there's no relationship. Like, he say, like, man, he don't got no respect for the man because of what type of man he is. But I feel like in a lot of cases, women be trying to replace that man. You know what I'm saying? And then that's right then and there, like, we got a problem right there. Like, how can you replace a father that's in the child's life? You know, so it's.
You know, that comes from bitterness and different levels with the woman, you know what I'm saying? We had that conversation before. We might have to bring that back and have an updated conversation about bitterness. But to you, Courtney, how has it affected your quality of life, you know what I'm saying, being on child support?
All right, thanks for the question. I'll just start off by saying this. I'm very passionate about it. I've delved into this topic a lot. One thing to consider is who is, as you stated, who's making the decision on how much is to be paid? What are the considerations, all right? And Nikki also said that, well, this is a business transaction. And so take both of those sides into consideration. And then let me just state this, that you have to remember that the system is just that. It's mechanized. It has no feelings. So it does not care whether you lost your job. And this is one of the things I have an issue with, and I'm very passionate about. The system cares little because it's just there to do its job, okay? It uses algorithms, all right, and equations, all right? And they don't take your feelings and emotions into in the thought process, okay? And so with that being said, I want to make sure that is absolutely clear. So while we humans are at each other's throats about this topic and wanting to be right and being, as we stated, narcissist about, you know, yourself and whether you're better or whatever, we have to remember we're the only humans in this equation. The child support system doesn't love either one of us. And so if you're a woman and you're on child support, have you not been locked up too?
I mean, no, and that's a side of it that we don't talk about much. Men, you can get custody of your child and put the mother on child support. Macy Weaver said men tend to not want to pay support, but they also rarely try to have joint custody. And
share placement, man. Joint custody ain't worth shit.
I'm saying either or though. Just the fact that simply a lot of men don't really even try to get any type of custodial rights. Honestly, a lot of men don't. Not all, but
you know why though, bro? I honestly feel like a lot of guys in most cases don't want their kid to go down that path, you know, like to tear them away from their mother. Because, you know, like naturally, I feel like that majority guys feel like the mother, you know, like she's the one, you know, like she go, you know, give them that certain.
I mean, I feel like that to a certain extent. I feel like when a child is newborn up until about maybe 11, 12 years old, if the parents aren't
14,
aren't together, from newborn up until about 11 or 12, the kid should be with the mom. She's gonna give him that nurture and that nature that he needs.
But not all moms are like that either.
No, not all moms are. Some of these, some women,
moms out
some
here,
of these
man.
women just piece of shit moms, truly. But you know, just in the era what we was talking about, they need that, and then go to the dad up until it's adulthood. In my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Kids need both parents.
No, they need both, but if you can't both be in the household, you can't both be in the household. We don't live in a perfect world.
It depends on what sex the child is too.
No, you know what? No, that's true though, because I'm speaking about from a boy, from a girl. Now, see, here's the thing about that though.
Different about that one, though.
I don't know how to do it with a girl because I don't have girls, so I can't really, you know, put my foot in that conversation.
I feel
Okay,
like
no,
you-
let's talk about it. That's from.
Hold on, before they jump over there, hold on. I just want to put this out there, man. I feel like with a father and a son, or a father with his daughter, I feel like how the father's always gonna treat his daughter a certain type of way, like, you know, like that Karen side, whatever. You know, he gonna be a little more stern with his son, but you know, I feel like you kind of treat them both the same in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because the daughter, like, you don't want your daughter growing up like just like on some this how it is, whatever. Like the father definitely go create. Look, this how a man should treat you. So I feel like I always say, bro, the father is the most important piece on the board.
I mean,
for me. But no, I'm gonna let them tap in though. I'm gonna let them tap in.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead, y'all.
You said you do have a daughter.
Yes.
So you got sons too though? You got son.
One son and 3 daughters.
So what's the difference like in the parenting?
So if I can, just let me back up a little bit.
Go ahead.
You know, as I am also like Phil, in that when I was in the child support family court hearing, and I basically told the judge, I said, is this an argument over who's the better parent? I said, because that's not why I'm here. I said, I'm here because I was told by the hospital that if I don't fight for my rights or paternity, that I will have none. And therefore, I won't have any say in my daughter's life. That's the only reason. So I was beguiled into and kind of tricked into even signing the acknowledgement. So that's one point. Okay, and so I made that argument later on, but that's for another show perhaps. But the fact of the matter is I said, Judge, Commissioner, I'm not here for that reason. I said, I'm only here for the interest of my daughter. I just want to be involved in my daughter's life. And so the judge, and so I said, and they said, that's what it's going to be about. And I said, well, then I don't want to fight anymore. I said, I'd rather her be with, she's a girl, I'd rather her be with mom, okay, because I didn't have a child with her and just to fight over or to use as a pawn or a piece, right? And so the judge was like, the commissioner was like, are you sure? Like, why would you do that? You have every right to fight over that. I said, that's not what I'm in it for. So, you know, I just want to make that point because I agree with you, Phil, on the female maybe being nurtured under the mom for a certain span of time, and then, you know, the boy be under the father for it. I mean, that just makes sense, doesn't it?
It does, but at what point does a daughter go with her dad? Like,
She doesn't.
I would.
Hold on, let her talk.
hold on, no,
Let her tap in.
no, and this is a good conversation because, like I said, it's different for a boy. A boy needs both. Does a female need that alone time?
Needs her dad for sure.
But she doesn't. But not alone time.
No, alone time. When you're saying go with her dad, it's mean like to go live with.
Yeah, maybe like
to live.
Yeah, to live.
If something is wrong with the mother, then for sure. But if not, then who's teaching her how to be domesticated? Who's teaching her how to be a lady? Who's teaching her this and that?
I have a very big question, and I have to interject. I have to. Do you believe that a woman can teach a boy how to be a man?
No.
Then we don't have to go no further. Continue.
My thing with my son, because my kids are 9 years apart, different fathers, and the fathers are totally different. My son, all I can teach him to be is a responsible adult.
Facts.
I like that.
I have positive male role models in my life, you know what I mean, that interject, you know, that are involved with my son here and there. My daughter, who's 6, her father, when it comes to child support, is not a scholar. He's not a star, he does not pay, but I do not interfere with how she feels about her dad. He is the light of her life, do you understand me? Because what me and him got going with this business transaction
Don't got nothing to do with
nothing to do with
exactly.
my son father, same thing. He wants to make it like that, but it's not. And I won't allow him to do that. Your relationship with your fathers, that's y'all relationship. How I feel about him has nothing to do with you. Our relationship is our relationship, and your relationship is your relationship. So we don't have, in my household, with my situation, we don't have time for the excuses. I make no excuses. And let me say this, as a culture, as black people, we need to understand sometimes we cannot afford to have children.
Facts.
But we still make them. And we bring them into a poor environment, a toxic relationship.
Facts.
And we shouldn't. You understand? I didn't have my first kid until I was 33. I could afford my son. You understand? And then I had my girl at 42, you know. But I knew by me not being married to this man that I'm having a child with that this is solely my responsibility. I'm not, but this is my responsibility, emotionally, spiritually, physically, this is my responsibility. Financially, it's our responsibility. And I'm not gonna beg you to be a father. I'm not doing that. That's not don't tell me Happy Father's Day, I'm a mother. That's it, that's all.
Damn.
I can't, I don't know. And back to the question where you said, how is your life different? My life is great. Because I get good child support. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, his money doesn't compare to my own money. You understand? I have my own money. My kids have a good life. My son is getting ready to go to Spain. He'll be 16.
That's
He's
dope.
going overseas. I get child support. You understand? I spend my money on my child.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
So, and the other one, if you don't want to pay child support, I'll just send you to jail. I'll just get up on the computer, tick, 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 send it to the caseworker. I told him, you can do it by force or by choice. But I'm the advocate for my child when it comes to getting the money, the financial part. I cannot make you be a dad, but I got everything to do with that money part.
Now, let me ask this. Based on all of that. Hold on, I'm sorry. Get back. Okay. Child support. This is again. I'm not on child support, so anything I say
It's about to get super
is just
spicy.
you know speculation, opinion, and me talking shit. Like, why do you feel like it's okay for a man to go to jail for not being able to take care of a child?
You're neglecting your child.
Hold on, and this is a two-part question. If you and a man, you know, doing y'all thing, not married, not in a relationship, you end up pregnant, and he says he doesn't want to be a father. Even if he told you that before and y'all still laid down, doesn't matter when he told you that flat out. Do you still feel like you should put him on child support if you went through with that pregnancy?
I'm not that girl, so I can't speak from that. You understand? When I had my children with their dads, they wanted the baby. You understand? It just didn't work out between us. So I don't know what to say about that.
I
How
feel it.
do you feel about that?
I mean, like, no, just like a feeling. Just like if a man,
How I feel about
if you was in that
it's
situation,
on me, girl.
what if it was your daughter?
My daughter.
What if your daughter told
I
you-
would hope that I would teach my daughter better than that. If a man say he don't, I believe in what a person show you the first time.
Facts.
You understand?
Facts.
And if that was to happen to my child, God forbid, you know, I'd help her. I raised my son to look out for his sister, You understand? It's only you two. It's you two against the world. You know what I mean? Be in her business. Hopefully she don't get a knucklehead. I pray to God, you know? But, you know, you never really know a person. You know, I've had someone say to me, oh, well, you chose your baby daddy. You think I laid down with a Negro thinking he ain't gonna take care of his kids, so I gotta fight with him? People change. People have the right to change.
People definitely do change. I think a lot of times though, it's more people. It's more than people just changing though. I think a lot of
There
times
is
we
allowed
just
to
don't
spend
use
her-
discernment.
No,
You know.
black folks, our culture, we need accountability. Especially
No, that's what I'm. Yeah, that part. That's what I mean. Yeah, we don't.
Black accountability.
You
in a
gotta hold yourself
major
accountable.
way. And black men, it takes a very long time. My son's father didn't start getting himself together until he's like 35, and he's like a millionaire now. He didn't start getting himself together at 35. You have to be accountable. You understand? You don't want to go to jail. Guess what? How you say, how do they determine? It's off your job. It's and you put your
No, but
job.
them percentages in general. Who picks 25? Who picks 17? Like.
Whoever made the law. Whoever made the law. Whoever made the law. Because it's not any money. If my child support was supposed to be what it was supposed to be, like almost $3,000, that was nothing compared to the $16,000 and $20,000 he made that month. That was no money. There wasn't anything.
Can you determine? Now, I'm gonna ask you this, and this is just coming from our culture. We call that counting people's pockets. How you gonna tell him that money didn't hurt what his plans was?
I don't care what his plans were.
What if his plans was for the kids? What if his plans was for the benefit of the kids?
The child, we in the present. We live in the present. I can't think about the legacy you're saying you're creating or the past. I'm in the present.
How do you, now, as a man? I want to say something to you as a man before you get into it. I want to ask the question. Okay. A rapper recently said this, and the way he said it, I'm gonna say it the same way. But I feel like a lot of men feel like this. And sometimes, in order to feed the kids, you got to be a deadbeat first. How do you feel about that as a man? Do you understand that?
I mean,
It's real shit.
I believe I can comprehend and pick up what's being said there. There's some major sacrifices that sometimes need to be made. Sometimes you might need to go off and become a truck driver or something. You're not at home all the time. You can't really be the dad you want to be, but this is your skill. And so you are not at home for a week or 2 weeks at a time. Mom is there doing a thing, or the children might be living with mom, you know? And so I can get with that. I mean, people go off to the military, right? For 6 months, right? And everybody thinks that is admirable and commendable. Where's Daddy? Oh, Daddy's in the military. Well, he should be here with his kids, shouldn't he?
Right.
To the child support and the interest of the kid. How come it's commendable then, but it's not commendable? You know what I'm saying? So I can make a whole, we could.
No, it's a lot of cases.
Relationship, if you're in a relationship with the person, that's what y'all agree to. That's what y'all understand it is. You understand?
See, I got an issue.
But if you're not, then that's where the two parents, adults, should be cordial and explain it to one another. You understand? You gotta understand what caliber of woman you're dealing with.
And the woman needs to understand what counts.
And that's why I said discernment, because discernment is accountability beforehand.
Right.
If you use your discernment to actually pay attention to the red flags, pay attention to the shit people don't say, pay attention to the body language and the way the conversations people avoid, that's accountability beforehand. You shouldn't have fucked with that person in the first place.
Right.
So it's not that they changed, it's just that you weren't paying attention.
I got a question. So I wanna know from like everybody in the room, how do y'all feel about the parent belittling the other parent in front of the kid?
It'll backfire.
Oh yeah, it's unacceptable, it's disrespectful, and it's definitely gonna backfire eventually. I had to say this, and my parents didn't do that, but in general, you see the rift between your parents growing up. And eventually you become an adult, and you can tell who was really the problem.
Yeah.
Facts.
So it's gonna backfire. At some point, it's gonna backfire. Whether it backfires with a young kid or a young adult, they're gonna eventually turn against you for everything that you did negative toward their other parent, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, let's get their perspective of it. So
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
She said, just something.
But
The kid figure it out itself.
Yeah, facts.
you see a lot of moms that just do that though, man. Like that.
That's that bitterness. That's that bitterness, though. They can't. When you bitter, you can't help it.
Between us, so what?
Yeah, when you bitter, you can't help it. I don't
You know,
think.
I went to therapy when I was brokenhearted from my son's father because we were together for so long. I just thought he was dead and we were going to be together. That nigga broke my spirit. You understand me?
Damn.
And I didn't know.
Looking at.
I didn't know who I was anymore, and I didn't like who I was becoming, and I missed my old self. So I went and healed myself. You understand me? And having my kids, after having both of my children, I had postpartum depression. So I went and healed myself. God first, you know what I mean? So that's why I can see a man now if he got issues, and I got you.
I feel
You
that. I
understand?
feel that.
So yeah.
So you said something earlier. You were speaking about the child support and what it does and how much it is and how it's not, it's dropping the bucket and stuff like that. I got a video that kind of goes with that subject. There's been a lot of talk in general about what mothers are allowed to spend child support money on. She probably going using that money to go to the club you know what I'm saying? So
Kanye said it best.
let's check out this video and you know what I'm saying? Tell me how you feel about it. We're gonna get into it and let's do it.
Let's talk about it.
Mother is allowed to spend her child support money on whatever she wants, and let me tell you why. I've been seeing a lot of controversy on what a woman can and cannot spend her child support money on. People are making TikToks about it, people are talking on their podcasts about it, saying that a single mother is not allowed to spend her child support money on her electricity, on her rent, or on her Wi-Fi. Let me just break it down for you on why a single mother is allowed to spend child support money on whatever she would like. So let's say a single mother goes to the store on the 1st of the month and she buys her child all new clothes and all new shoes, and she spends $300 on her child, and now her child has everything they need. But then on the 15th of the month, she goes back to the store to buy diapers and wipes for her child and spends $200, right? That's $500. Now let's say on the 21st of the month, the father of her child sends her $350. She is allowed to take money from that child support and pay her electric. She is allowed to pay her Wi-Fi. She is allowed to use that money for her rent because that money is a reimbursement of what she already spent on the child, and it's not even a complete reimbursement. Not to mention, a lot of these men that are paying child support are only paying what the judge tells them to pay. So they are not helping cover the cost of child care the single mom is paying for just so she could put her child in child care so that she can work to pay for that child care. And best believe those men are not paying for food for the child weekly, are not buying new clothes for the child, are not buying new shoes for the child. They're only sending a set amount that woman has to deal with. So if a single mother is paying for everything for her child throughout the month, and the father of her child has to pay $10 in child support, $100 in child support, or $1,000 in child support, every amount is different, and she decides to spend that money on her electric, on her rent, that is fine because she has already provided for her child. A single mother is allowed to spend her child support money on whatever she wants, and let me tell you why. I've been seeing a lot of controversy on what a woman can and cannot spend her child support money on. People are making TikToks about it, people are talking on their podcasts about it, saying that a single mother is not allowed to spend her child support money on her electricity, on her rent, or on her Wi-Fi. Let me just break it down for you on why a single mother is allowed to.
Come on, man.
Now hold on.
Come on.
Let me jump into this because this I got an issue with
come
this.
on, man.
And I've had this conversation before with one of my children's mother. Here's the thing, man. Listen. I'm all for the supporting of the kid, right? Financially, we got to do what we got to do, right? I don't owe you reimbursement. I don't have to reimburse you for the amount of money that you chose to go spend. If the kid needed shoes, you didn't have to buy Jordans. You chose to buy Jordans. If the kid needed clothes, you didn't have to go buy Polo and Tommy Hilfiger and all of that stuff. You chose to go buy that stuff. If the kid needed whatever, you chose what you wanted to go buy with your money, and then you think I'm supposed to reimburse you for that? That's not child support. That's a motherfucker wanting a free ride. Now, in the sense of, she said she spent $500, right? She said she spent $500.
$500.
If I give you $250 back, then you should be happy with me paying for half of whatever you chose to spend your money on. Because I could have took that same $500 and went and did more than what you did by being more responsible than wanting to buy Jordans and shit for a fucking kid that's gonna go outside and tear them Jordans up in 2 days, and you gonna be on Facebook making a post mad talking about how the kid don't give a fuck about shoes. He don't give a fuck about shoes. He's a kid.
He want them light up joints.
You feel what the fuck I'm talking about? So I'm just saying, man. Like, we see it. We all see it. How do y'all feel about that topic of the conversation, what the money gets spent on? Courtney, let's get your opinion.
All right, so yeah, I mean, I've struggled with that in myself. I wanted to know where the money is going, you know, because I know where my money is going when I get a check and 40% is going to taxes, and then there's like a little bit left to pay some bills, and then I have like nothing left, right? And plus I have other children, you know. But anyways, and so again, it's a system. It's not sensitive to your individual needs. It's algorithms and it's equations. So, you know, they're going to take it because, as Nikki said, it is the law. Howbeit, I do want to speak to that law because I think we got some things twisted as far as that law goes. I can show you some Supreme Court cases that basically will probably throw a little wrench in the works for women and what they thought child support was really about. But we can hopefully talk about that soon. But you know, right now it's as it stands. It's the law. You know that you're going to pay child support, and the mom can do whatever she wants. The money's going to get deposited on that card, whatever state she happens to be in, and that's just what it is right now. So how I feel about it, it doesn't really matter. It's going to happen anyways. However, there is movements to get things changed and overturned and what have you. So, you know, some of the gentlemen out there are really putting in the groundwork, and hopefully we're hoping for some successes in the near future. With that being said, and lastly, again, I hope to speak to the Supreme Court cases, one being Wehunt versus Ledbetter, and the other, that's a 1989 case, and then Blessing versus Freestone is a 1997 case, and again, hopefully we can speak to that.
Okay. Let's get into some of these comments. We've been neglecting the audience a little bit. I'm going to go back a little while. Donovan said, okay, in conjunction to the conversation about being a deadbeat to be able to take care of the child, he said he's kind of going through that right now. He's had to tamp down and get some of his things in order so that he's been granted the leeway to do so. He keep in mind that many other men are not so lucky, especially if they are on child support. Like I said, you know, sometimes when, let's say the kid won't, you know, to be in the martial arts, or they soccer or something, you know what I'm saying? They do need clothes. They do need summer clothes. Summer coming up. You got to get a new wardrobe. Things of that nature. Sometimes you got to say no to some things to save that money up. Sometimes you got to say no to some things to be able to build yourself up to that point to get that. What a lot of women, in my opinion, don't realize about child support is, again, this money is being taken from me without my permission, regardless of whatever. It's being taken from me without my permission whenever they feel like taking it. I may have needed that money to pay a bill this week, and now I can't because they took it and just gave it to you. I can't do nothing about that, right? So now I'm in a bad position. Now that kid you might call me next week and be like, hey, son want to join soccer. It costs this much. I need, you know, you got your half. No, actually I don't have my half because they just took it out of my check and gave it to you.
See, now look, I definitely want to jump in on that, bro. Now, if you can't help that kid, you know, in that sport or whatever, right? You gonna be considered the bad guy.
Facts.
Your kid gonna be like, why can't I get involved? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the mom is already getting what she's supposed to get, and she adding that to, you know what I'm saying, to the sport, and now you gotta add. It's like, damn, you paying for the whole wow. You know, it's like,
how much are you giving child support?
I mean, you know, like you said,
$50 is no money.
But see, that's the thing, though. Now, hold on. See, that's the thing. It goes back. It go back to.
See, once again,
Hold on.
y'all
You-
can't
wait, you
be
said how much?
emotional about it.
No, it go back to what
Once
Courtney
again,
said
Oh,
though.
wait, hold on.
No,
Wait,
she's,
how much did you say?
You said $150 ain't.
So
no,
if
that's
man-
not child. No, that's not the
wait.
child support. That's not.
Wait.
No, that's not what I said. Was child support.
If-
No,
I
I'm
said,
just saying, what are you giving?
Let's say-
saying it's not enough.
Let's say a man did give up $150 a week, right? So that totals out to what, $600 a month, right? And I feel like what's most important is what state do you live in?
That's right.
You know, the cost of living and shit.
no, all of that
Like-
definitely goes into play. But let's talk. Okay, let's just keep it
You
localized.
gotta give me a chance to answer them other questions.
Well, no, that's the thing. I didn't finish asking it all the way. Listen, this is what I'm saying. When it comes to that topic, understand this. You can't take, and again, you said one of your child's fathers is a high earner.
Yeah.
You counting his pockets, hypothetically. The courts count. No, I said hypothetically. Listen, the courts is counting his pockets, hypothetically, because they saying, oh, you make $12,000 a month.
Let me say this. Do you guys know? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you guys know it's law? I was trying to find it before I got here, but I saw it. The non-custodial parent is to provide an income as if they were in the household together. Naturally, we ain't supposed to be having kids outside of marriage. We're supposed to be married and together.
But see, no, that's the thing, though. We keep talking about this law
This
shit.
2024.
There's nothing else.
No.
Guess what? Because guess what? What you're saying ain't nothing but your emotions.
I'm not on child support. This is, first of all, let's say this. How can we not have this conversation from an emotional standpoint? This whole conversation,
I got one that pay and
because
one
it's
that don't pay.
because it's
Guess
benefiting
what?
you at the end. Because like you said, you gonna send them to jail.
Guess what?
You find joy in that.
I absolutely don't, because my daughter need her father.
So why send him to jail?
Because guess what? He need to get his shit together.
Jail ain't gonna force him to get his shit together. Why do y'all think that?
So listen, let me tell you.
Why do y'all think
Hold on,
that?
Hold on, I'm gonna
Let
stay
her
at home
go, let her go.
now. But when my son was little, I got up at 4:30 in the morning, got my kid ready for school. I made no fucking excuses about going to get my money. Y'all want to make excuses because y'all being emotional because you don't want to give the woman.
No, that's not. That's not the conversation that I was. Hold on. That's not what I was asking. See, no, that's the thing. Listen to what I'm saying. You're counting his pockets. Let's start there. If that man,
Of course it's counting his pockets.
it don't matter who the pockets is being counted. Let's start there.
We know each other's pockets.
Listen to what I'm finna ask you. Because you're not in a relationship. And that also matters. That matters a lot, actually. Because if we was in a relationship, I would have an obligation or responsibility or even just out of love to somehow take care of you also. But we're not in a relationship. And that money that's coming is coming to you. Pause. Let me ask my original question in totality. If a man is making, we're not even gonna talk about your high earner. We're just gonna talk about in general. If somebody's making $7,000 a month, $7,000 a month, good medium income,
Okay.
and taxes is taking $2,000 of that. Now he left with $5,000, and then here come child support and take another $1,500. Now he left with what? $3,500.
$3,500.
Now listen, this is my point behind this whole question. You, not you specifically, but a lot of women, oh, that little ass money ain't doing shit over here. Then give it the fuck back, because I can do a lot with it over here.
Being emotional.
How is this conversation not emotional?
Because guess what? Instead of being emotional, find a problem to solution. Go work another job.
Man, fuck out my face. Fuck out of here.
Wait, you want a nigga working 2 jobs?
Fuck out of here.
Oh, man.
No, listen, you guys gotta understand where I'm coming from. I would work 16 hours in a prison. Do you guys understand that? So that excuse shit ain't nothing to me.
He brought up a point.